Criminology Board Exam Reviewer. Patrol Organization and Operation. Patrol, from French patrouiller, to paddle, paw about, patrol. Keep watch over an area by regularly walking or traveling around or through it. A person or group of people sent to keep watch over an area. Patrol officers. They are uniformed officers assigned to monitor specific geographical areas, that is to move through their areas at regular intervals looking out for any signs of problems of any kind. History of patrol. 1. Ancient China, law enforcement was carried out by prefect. Prefects were government officials appointed by local magistrates who reported to higher authorities such as the governors, who in turn were appointed by head of state, usually the emperor of the dynasty. 2. Ancient Greece, publicly owned slaves were used by magistrates as police. In Athens, a group of 300 Scythian slaves, rod-bearers, was used to guard public meetings to keep order and for crowd control, and also assisted with dealing with criminal, handling prisoners and making arrests. 3. Roman Empire. The army rather than a dedicated police organization provided security. Local watchmen were hired by cities to provide some extra security. Magistrates such as procurators, fiscales and quaestros investigated crime. Under the reign of Augustus, 14 wards were created. The wards were protected by 7 squads of 1,000 men called vigiles, who acted as firemen and night watchmen. Their duties included apprehending thieves and robbers and capturing runaway slaves. The vigiles were supported by the urban cohorts, who acted as a heavy-duty riot force and praetorian guard if necessary. Praetorian Guard, bodyguards used by Roman emperors. Urban cohorts were created by Augustus to counterbalance the enormous power of the Praetorian Guard in the city of Rome and serve as the police force. Vigiles, watchmen of the city, were the firefighters and police of ancient Rome. Ward, a subdivision of a municipality. 4. Medieval England. The Anglo-Saxon system of maintaining public order since the Norman conquest was a private system of tithing, led by a constable to enforce the law. Tithing was a grouping of 10 households. Constable is a person holding a particular office, most commonly in law enforcement. The office of constable can vary significantly in different jurisdiction. 5. Spain. Modern police in Europe has a precedent in the Hermandad or Brotherhood, peacekeeping association of individuals, a characteristic of municipal life in medieval Spain. The first recorded case of the formation of the Hermandad occurred when the towns and the peasantry of the north united to police the pilgrim road to Santiago de Compostela in Galicia and protect the pilgrims against robber knights. 6. France. The first police force in the modern sense was created by the government of King Louis XIV in 1667 to police the city of Paris, then the largest city in Europe. 7. Britain and Ireland. In England, a system of sheriffs, reeves and investigative juries to provide basic security and law enforcement. Sheriff is a contraction of the term shire reeve, designated a royal official responsible for keeping the peace throughout a shire or county on behalf of the king. Reeve, a senior official with local responsibilities under the crown. Chief magistrate of a town or district. Shire, traditional term for a division of land in the UK and Australia. Jury is a sworn body of people convened to render impartial verdict officially submitted to them by a court or to set a penalty or judgment. Thief-taker, a private individual hired to capture criminal. Bow Street Runners, London's first professional police force. Henry Fielding, a magistrate educated at Elton College who founded the Bow Street Runners, originally numbered just 6. Statute of Winchester, in 1285, obliged the authorities of every town to keep a watch at the city gates and arrest all suspicious night walkers. Sir Robert Peel, Prime Minister of England from December 1834 to April 1835 and again from August 1841 to June 1846. while Home Secretary, help create the modern concept of the police force, leading to officers being known as bobbies in England and peelers in Ireland. Patrick Colquhoun, 1745–1820, a Scottish merchant and a magistrate who founded the first regular preventive police force in England, the Thames River Police. 8. In the U.S., the first city police services were established in Philadelphia in 1751, Boston 1838 and New York 1845. August Vollmer, first police chief of Berkeley, California. He is sometimes called the father of modern law enforcement in the U.S. 1. He was the first chief to require that police officers attain college degrees. 2. First police chief to create a motorized force placing officers on motorcycles and cars so that they could patrol broader areas with greater efficiency. 3. He was also the first to use the lie detector in police work. O.W. Wilson, studied under August Vollmer, became chief of police of the Fullerton Police Department. He also became chief of police of the Wichita Police Department. He introduced the following reforms and innovations. 1. Requires new policemen to have college education. 2. Use of police car for patrol, mobile radios and use of a mobile crime laboratory. 3. He believed that the use of a two-way radio allowed better supervision of patrol officers. What are the three main tasks of supervision? 1. Organize, means planning the work of the department and of the personnel in an orderly manner. 2. Delegate, means giving someone else the responsibility and authority to do something. The supervisor confers upon a subordinate officer the same authority and responsibility that the supervisor possesses to accomplish the specific task. The supervisor remains responsible for the completion of the delegated task. 3. Oversee, means that the supervisor ensures that the work that has been organized and delegated is satisfactorily completed. Community policing. It is the process by which an organized group of citizens devoted a time to crime prevention within a neighborhood. When suspecting criminal activities, members are encouraged to contact the authorities and not to intervene. Beat patrol. It is the deployment of officers in a given community, area or locality to prevent and deter criminal activity and to provide day-to-day services to the community. Sting operations. It is an organized group of detectives who deceived criminals into openly committing illegal acts of conspiring to engage in criminal activity. Hotspots of crime. It is the view that a significant portion of all police calls in cities typically radiate from a relatively few locations. Models of policing. 1. Neighborhood-oriented policing, a philosophy of police suggesting that problem-solving is best done at the neighborhood level, where issues originate not at a far-off central headquarters. 2. Proactive policing, aggressive law enforcement style in which patrol officers take the initiative against crime instead of waiting for criminal acts to occur. 3. Problem-oriented policing, a style of police management that stresses proactive problem-solving instead of reactive crime fighting. 4. Community-oriented policing, programs designed to bring the police and the public closer together and create more cooperative working environment between them. 5. Reactive policing, the opposite of proactive policing where the police wait for crime to occur. Blue curtain. It describes the secrecy and insulation from others in society that is a consequence of the police subculture. Cynicism. It is the belief that most people's actions are motivated solely by personal needs and selfishness. Civilian Review Board. Example pleb. They are organized citizen groups that examine police misconduct. Watchman. It is a style of policing characterized by an emphasis on maintaining public order. Fleeing felon rule. It is the oldest standard relating to the use of deadly force. Beats. They are designated police patrol areas. Internal affairs. Unit that investigates allegations of police misconduct. Deadly force. Police killing of a suspect who resists arrest or presents a danger to an officer or the community. Booking. It is the administrative record of an arrest listing the offender's name, address, physical description, date of birth, time of arrest, offense and name of arresting officer. It also include photographing and fingerprinting of the offender. Line up. Placing a suspect in a group for the purpose of being viewed and identified by a witness. Stop and frisk. It is the situation in which police officers who are suspicious of an individual run their hands lightly over the suspect's outer garments to determine if the person is carrying a concealed weapon. Also called inquiry of pat-down. Foot patrol. Police patrol that takes officer out of cars and puts them in walking beat to strengthen ties with the community. Excited delirium. It is an overdose of adrenaline that can occur in heated confrontation with the police. Patrol reduces crime by creating an impression of omnipresence. Responding to crime, total response time is comprised of 4 dimensions. 1. Discovery time, interval between the commission of the crime and its discovery. 2. Reporting time, interval between the discovery of the crime and when it is reported to the police. 3. Processing time, interval between receiving the call and dispatching the officers for service. 4. Travel time, the amount of time it takes for the police to travel to the scene of the crime. The phantom effect, residual deterrence. Most people believe that the police is present even when they are not in sight. Sworn date. It is the date that a sworn employee took the oath of office for their position. Advantages of foot, bicycle patrol. 1. Increased personal contact between the police and citizen. 2. Increased observation ability. 3. Increased ability to gather information. 4. Economical. Advantages of motorized patrol. 1. Increased speed and mobility. 2. Increased conspicuousness. 3. Availability of additional equipment. 4. Increased transportation capability. 5. Deceased response time. 6. Communications. Basic preventive patrol methods utilized by an officer. 1. Frequent check and contact with business premises. 2. Frequent check of suspicious persons. 3. Fluctuating patrol patterns. 4. Maintenance of visibility and personal contact. 5. Daily individual patrol and community action plan. Factors to be considered in becoming familiar with the community. 1. General population information. 2. Appropriate geographical information. 3. Recent criminal activity. 4. Specific factors that may influence patrol functions. Example: location of hospitals, high crime areas, community habits. How to prepare for a normal patrol shift. 1. Gathering information through crime reports and briefings. 2. Gathering needed materials. X. Report forms, citation books. 3. Obtaining and checking equipment. 4. Planning work around identified priorities. 5. Preparing daily patrol and community action plan. What an officer on nighttime patrol should be looking for. 1. Broken glasses. 2. Open doors and windows. 3. Prime marks. 4. Suspicious vehicles. 5. Persons on foot. 6. Differences in normal lighting, on or off. 7. Unusual sounds. 8. Access to rooftops or upper floors.